Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're tearing down those get-rich-quick fantasies and diving into the actual, realistic mechanics of building wealth. We're going to focus on the true blueprint to financial success, which is all about actionable strategies, real discipline, and knowing exactly how to maximize your efforts. We've pulled together some seriously fascinating insights that reveal what actually separates the people who build lasting wealth from those who just stay stuck on the treadmill. Let's get right into it.
So, let's start with a painful but absolutely crucial question. Have you been working your tail off for years, but you still find yourself struggling financially? Look, it's a deeply frustrating place to be. But validating that frustration, that's your first step to changing your trajectory. Society has basically hardwired us to believe that pure, brute force effort is the only way to succeed. But effort without direction, it's literally like running on a treadmill. You're sweating a ton, you're exhausted, but you aren't actually going anywhere.
And that brings us to the core difference between staying stuck and actually building wealth: hard work versus smart work. Now, hard work focuses purely on clocking those long hours and putting in maximum physical effort. Smart work, on the other hand, is all about direction and using your time strategically. Now, don't get me wrong, you absolutely still need to work hard. Building wealth takes immense effort, but you have to point that effort in a direction that actually yields exponential returns.
Which leads us to Section 1, Master High-Value Skills.
This is where the paradigm shift really happens. You simply can't work smarter if the fundamental skills you're bringing to the table aren't highly valued by the market. We're talking about skills like sales, digital marketing, programming, content creation, design, or business management, and they are highly prized for one simple reason: they are scalable. A programmer writes a piece of code once and it can serve 1 million people. A digital marketer runs a campaign that reaches thousands overnight. Your earning potential is directly tied to the scale of the problems you can solve.
But here is a massive trap we all fall into: confusing busy work with productive work. Busy work is when you're racing around completing dozens of small, low-impact tasks. It feels exhausting, which kind of tricks your brain into thinking you're accomplishing a lot. Productive work, though, that means focusing intently on the one truly important task that creates a massive result. Smart workers relentlessly prioritize. They absolutely refuse to let busy work consume their most valuable resource, which is their time.
Moving right along to Section 2, the Wealth Creation Flow.
Okay, so once you've nailed down those high-value skills, you really need to understand how money actually moves. Relying on just one single salary, that severely limits your financial growth and leaves you pretty vulnerable. But when you create multiple streams, maybe that's freelancing, running a small business, selling digital products, or building an investment portfolio, you completely shift your financial stability. If one of those streams slows down, the others keep right on flowing. You're essentially building a resilient financial fortress.
And this right here is the fundamental engine of wealth. It's a simple, powerful flow. Step 1, you earn. Step 2, you save. Step 3, you invest carefully. Step 4, you reinvest the profits. And Step 5, you grow. Notice the huge emphasis there on investing carefully. Wealth building is not about chasing speculative, flashy trends. Investing inherently involves risk, which means it requires real educated research. But once you do that, and you continually reinvest those profits, you trigger the absolute magic of compounding.
But listen, to make that engine work, you have to plug the holes in your financial bucket. You can have all the high-value skills in the world, but if your spending is completely out of control, you are never going to reach those investment and growth stages. Foundational habits like budgeting, controlling unnecessary spending, building an emergency fund, and fiercely avoiding high-interest debt are simply non-negotiable. Real discipline here is what keeps your bucket full.
All right, let's dive into Section 3, Leverage, Systems, and Network.
This is how you actually scale your success. Setting up systems allows your work to become infinitely more efficient. Whether you're using automation, reusable templates, online tools, or delegation, a system operates even when you aren't doing every single task yourself. Think about it. If you have to be awake and sitting at your desk for your business to make a single dollar, you don't really own a business. You just own a highly demanding job. Systems are what actually free up your time.
And that brings us to leverage. I absolutely love this concept. Leverage is the ultimate secret to multiplying your output without burning yourself out. It means using technology, teamwork, capital, content, or systems to massively increase the impact of your effort. It is the lever that lets you move giant obstacles with just a fraction of the physical force you'd normally need.
To put that into perspective, imagine you're teaching a class manually. You might reach, maybe 30 people in a room? But if you use digital tools, like recording an explainer video or writing a piece of software, you can reach thousands or even millions of people without ever having to repeat the task. One person can literally do the work of 100 just by applying the right digital leverage. Your effort stays exactly the same, but your output completely explodes.
But hey, leverage isn't just digital. Some of the absolute best leverage you'll ever find comes right from your network. Collaborating, sharing ideas, learning from mentors, and helping others, that creates a powerful ecosystem of trust. You aren't just collecting contacts, you are building a reputation. When high-level problems need solving, people turn to those they trust and respect. And let me tell you, that opens doors no algorithm ever could.
Which brings us to our final part, Section 4, your long-term action plan. The absolute cornerstone of this plan, agility. You have got to keep learning and adapting. Smart workers never just stagnate. If a specific strategy or market trend dries up, they don't just force it because they spent weeks building it. No, they review the data, they learn from their mistakes, and they pivot their approach. Survival and success in the modern economy requires a real willingness to constantly evolve.
Because, let's get real here, true wealth is never an overnight success story, no matter what you might see scrolling through social media. Just look at this timeline. In year 1, your focus is purely on learning a high-value skill and aggressively saving. By year 3, you're building out those systems and beginning to invest carefully. And it's really not until year 5 and beyond that you start to see the incredible magic of compounding as your wealth grows consistently. It's a marathon of smart, disciplined decisions.
So here is your cheat sheet. Take a screenshot of this if you need to, because these are the exact, practical steps you need to take right now. Choose just one valuable skill and practice it until you can earn from it. Meticulously track your expenses, save consistently, and build those systems to free your time. Invest carefully, review your progress every single month, and above all else, stay patient.
I want to leave you with this final, powerful thought as you take control of your financial future. Hard work gives you effort. Smart work gives your effort direction. Combine both. Becoming a millionaire is usually not one lucky moment. It is the result of many smart decisions repeated over time. So the only question left to ask yourself today is this: are you just going to keep working hard, or are you finally ready to start working smart? Start building your systems, pick that high-value skill, and point your effort in a direction that actually leads to wealth. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I'll see you next time.